My name is Alice Turner. I am a doula, childbirth educator, and I like to spin the big wheel of birth and cover a topic on childbirth. Let's see what today's spin is all about. Okay. I always get excited. Today is the birth ball. I love this topic because it is a question that I have received from a lot of people in childbirth class. Is like, what is a birth ball? I know what an exercise ball is, but how does it become a birth ball? They're the same thing. So an exercise ball is called a birth ball when you're talking about using an exercise ball in birth. Easy. So take birth, add an exercise ball, and you get birth ball. So, okay. Exercise balls, a couple things to know about them. First of all, let's talk about the size, how to choose the size of the exercise ball. Now, I'm not going to give you quotes off the top of my head, but I will put in links below the height specifications on the birth balls. So for the average height person in labor, which is, I believe, up to about 5'9", and I don't know the lower limit, so check in the links below. The size birth ball that's correct is 65 centimeters. So the smaller size is the 55 centimeters, and after that is a 75 centimeter. Now, you can, if you're buying one at home, which I do recommend having a birth ball at home. And the reason for this is birth balls are great to sit on in the lead up to labor. They can be super comfortable. They can really help you kind of open up your legs, open up your pelvis, get some good movement in there as you are preparing for labor and birth. I like to recommend sitting on them a few times a day in those last 4 weeks of pregnancy. So if you are buying one, make sure you read the height specifications on the size of the box, and make sure that it is inflated properly. So a lot of birth balls come with a pump that you can use. You can inflate it by mouth. It takes a while, but it can be done. Maybe something for your partner to do if you're the pregnant person. So sitting on a birth ball can be done prior to labor, and you can even replace your chair at your desk at least part of the day sitting on a birth ball, exercise ball. There's real magic that can happen in using a birth ball in labor. You can sit on it and kind of rotate your hips around. I like to call it a figure 8. And if you really, it's best if you try this out yourself. Sit on the ball and imagine that your hips are doing a figure 8 motion. And that is a great one in labor to do little circles. If at any time when you get your birth ball, make sure that you use it maybe close to a bed or a table or something that you can hold on to if you're feeling unsteady, or make sure you have a partner there to, help out if you're feeling wobbly. Certainly don't use it if you don't feel comfortable or safe or wobbly. That's really important because safety is the most important thing when we are pregnant. Using it with those circles, those hip circles, those hula hoop styles is a great place to use it and to use the birth ball in labor. And before labor too, be good to practice those so they feel really comfortable when you are in labor. You can also put the birth ball either on a bed or on the floor, and then kneel and lean your body over the ball, or stand with the ball on a bed and lean your body over the ball. So if you can imagine my imaginary ball, kind of like the big wheel of birth is my ball, and lean on it and kind of sway. And a birth ball really helps you get that motion. Doula pro tip is throw a blanket or a sheet or a towel or something over the birth ball so that your face is not on that hard plastic. If you are, not hard, but sticky kind of plastic, if you are leaning on it. So if you're at the hospital and you use a birth ball, and put it up on the bed, throw a sheet, throw an extra gown from the cabinet. That is a doula pro tip for you. Throw it over the birth ball and then it's covered. Now, when you are at a hospital or a birth center and you're using one of their balls, pay attention to the size that they give you and make sure it's the right one for you. And especially if you have one at home, you'll be familiar with what size is right. I have noticed being a doula at different hospitals, there is a huge variety in the quality and the stock that's available and the inflation level. Sometimes they're deflated. So don't hesitate to ask your nurse if you can have a different one, a smaller one, a larger one, a better inflated one, because usually if they have one for you, they will have other options. If you love your ball from home and you know that that's the one you want to sit on in labor, throw it in the car. Once you get settled in your labor and delivery room, get your partner to go get your ball and bring it in. Then you're set. Then you know. And then after the baby comes and you get settled, you can bring it back to the car. You don't need it to take up space. And another doula pro tip, if you're not using the ball, but you still want to use it later, you can pop it in the bathroom during labor, pop it in the tub if you have a tub in your room, in the bathroom, to kind of keep it contained and out of the way when you're not using it. But movement is great in labor. I'll add a link to the video about movement, and using a birth ball can really facilitate movement. Now, birth balls are not just great for pregnancy and labor. You can also use them postpartum. Now, you have to be someone who's very secure on them and in balance, but a lot of families have found that if you're sitting on the ball with your new baby, you can kind of gently bounce on the birth ball, and it helps that soothing technique of kind of a gentle rocking with the baby. And a lot of babies like that. So it can be used there too. Birth ball, great tool. Definitely get one for practicing before you go into labor. Highly recommended. If you need more information and cheat sheet for labor, I'll put a link below for our free cheat sheet for labor and birth. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. It certainly helps other people find the video and spread the information about birth balls out there into the world. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified for the next time we upload a video. And I always love comments. So if you're watching this and you haven't left a comment, go ahead and leave one. Let me know. Do you like birth balls? Do you have one? Let's hear. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye.